This is a map called Ravines, and no surprise it's the Mongols were, because there's a ton of hunt. Personally, I feel like it's a really good map. So, your TC's on a hill, and you're surrounded by ibex, or ibexes, or I don't know what plural of that word is. So if you pick Mongols and push in all of your deer, as I'll call them, you can have a nice solid feudal age time with the Mongol hunt bonus, and it can make for a really aggressive game. Stone Age in the chat says Tatar's OP. Yeah, I've just been thinking about this, because the only downside of including this in a tournament is that it's 100% going to be a Mongols war if you give them the option. And I don't love that idea. But it could be interesting if you ban Mongols. Like, what civs would be good here besides Mongols? Someone said Tatars. That would be fun to see because Tatars do more damage when on top of the hill. I imagine Huns could be strong for this. I don't know. I'm really thinking about making some slight changes to this map. I've talked to the map team and possibly including it in Hidden Cup 3. We will have a new map already. I wouldn't mind having more new maps. So, anyways, I'm excited to see what the feudal age times are like here. The big concern, I think, for players is always securing wood lines, securing golds, and securing stones. So, it's worth noting that you do have some wood lines on the back, but you have a 4-tile gold that's in your little ring, I guess, and a stone. And then the other resources are all spread out throughout the map. Change all the ibex to sheep and it turns into Britons versus Tatars. That's so funny. Yeah, because you have Britons have the sheep bonus and Tatars have the bonus where they're herdables. Wait, no. They're ah yes, I guess those are herdables. Their herdables last longer. Yeah, I think if we use this, we will ban Mongols because there's so many other maps where Mongols could be preferred to counterpick. Like on Bay, for example, you pick Mongols to counterpick Mayans or Japanese, and I'd like to still have that option for other maps. Okay. Well, anyways, I'm going to chill out a little bit until they're in feudal age. It won't take long, but right now they're pushing their deer. You see a mill from Hera, MbL, mill on the backside. You also have outposts, which I think is a nice touch. Doesn't give you too much vision. Oh, Byzantine's OP because of the free town watch. Byzantine's OP, man. Free town watch for all these outposts. What noobs picking Mongols for this map. I'm kidding. ASDF, I agree. I think that if you do... I think if Mongols had 25% faster hunting, it would still be very strong. 50% is pretty extreme. But you don't want to nerf them too heavily, right? Because if they don't have the early game bonus, then it's hard to get to their late game strength. I'm with you, though. Whoa! Did you see the bird? If you didn't see that there, I'm sure someone will clip it. The bird just got stuck on the edge of the map. Barracks for MbL. MbL actually has one more villager. Ah, MbL didn't get Loom. And Hera got Loom. That's the difference. Okay. And there's the barracks for Hera. Hera, I like the back of his base more because he has more areas to expand to, but MbL could actually wall this easier. Interesting how they've chosen to lay out their bases. But anyways, by a show of 1 or 2s, 1 being yes and 2 being no, do you think this map is solid? I mean, we haven't seen the game yet. I've seen a few games on it already. I think, even as is, the map is solid, and it has some potential for some amazing games. Every single game I've seen on this has been amazing. Okay, so a mixed review. Ooh, that's going to be close, and Hera wins that? How did he win with 5 HP? Those Scout Wars, though, man, they can be really tilting. It's not like it will be difficult for MbL to find where Hera is, but it's a little bit of an advantage for Hera at the start. And this is more secure for now, but I like this for Hera later on. There's just more areas for him to expand to. Adjunct, thank you, and Snipes, thank you guys for the subs. That scout is just one poke away from going down. And there goes MbL scout. So Dal and Hera played a game. DE spectating didn't work at that time. But Dal and Hera played a game on this, and I was actually specking from Hera's point of view, and that was a 6-hit game. I imagine it's really hard to be surprised by Spearmen, or anything really, if you have these outposts. Alright, MbL loses his spear there. Hera has 2 kills, 0 deaths. MbL's really struggling to push out. I see MbL's made a farm now, so he's thinking long-term eco. What about Hera? No farms yet. He has the map control to take the deer. Alright. Well, the hills make the fights really interesting. I'd like to see a Tatar war on this. Oh, MbL arrives. Hera's close to his TC, and Hera just runs to his town center. Well, yeah, he will run to his town center. Nice dodge from MbL. So normally what happens, if it's scouts and spears, eventually players are going to transition into archers to take the spearmen out of the equation. Not so easy to transfer or go into archers though if your gold's exposed like this. Hera's is actually fine. MbL's not quite as good. MbL's running all around. He sees Hera's scouts, and he'll just make it out of here, I imagine. Ooh, actually, he turned around and sniped that weak scout, so he got some revenge. Poke, 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 poke. Again, Hera in the small engagements seems stronger, and Hera also getting some hits in here on MbL scouts. So I think this has been cleaner from Hera.
T90 salute.
Yeah, their bases are so open. It's like, it's a map where players can't be full walled by minute 10. It's good. This is good, man. This can be really good. Oh, Hera didn't know that MbL had added more scouts. And MbL's not stopping there. He's still producing more. Hera will have to create 1 or 2 scouts more to equal that number. You'd have to ban Tatars on this map? You think so? Do you think it's that strong that it would be the sure pick? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. I mean, if you take Mongols out of the equation, I can't say for certain that Tatars are like second best. Well, we'll see. I mean, obviously we're gonna have some time. It's not like Hidden Cup 3 is happening next week. I'm announcing it early. A full announcement will be tomorrow, and I'll get community input and all that types of stuff. So, I mean, there's only, I'd say about 5 to 10% of the map where hills actually apply. The rest of the map, again, the center, there's no extreme bonus for Tatars there. So, personally, I don't necessarily agree that Tatars would clearly be the best. But as Tatars says, it's very situational. Now, MbL sees the range. Hera does not see those scouts yet. Is that villager fully walled in? I think so. Is MbL adding a range at home? No, he is not yet. He has a whole lot of scouts. This is actually what happened in the matchup first out for Hera. He tried to go for the archer switch, which is the norm in Scout Wars. But I think it was Doubt who continued to create scouts. Never mind. MbL is making his own range. I just like how active you have to be with military. You know, with home maps being the trend, I feel as though players who are faster would prefer a map like this. Players who are slower would want to avoid this at all costs. MbL's housed again, and it's not even just a mild housing. He's flat out housed, wasn't building a house, pop capped. Ay. Okay, this could get dangerous for MbL. Now that Hera's on 2 range archers, and Hera has just just about the same number of scouts. MbL got Town Watch. How much can he see now with the outposts? Wow, you see so much with Town Watch. Man, there's a reason that Jordan23 said... I think Jordan23 is a quote where he said, Town Watch is the most important upgrade in the game. It's crazy, or the most powerful upgrade in the game. Oh man, there's a tower going up now for MbL. That's not ideal. MbL could lose so much here. He has to bail on the tower. That's so bad for him. And he goes to the woodline, and as long as Hera walls that, Hera's fine. Hera does tons of damage, MbL does no damage. That's huge. The Archer switch did exactly what it needed to do for Hera. He's taking MbL off the gold now. Just looking around and making sure Hera can still defend himself. Seems like he can. But yeah, like someone like Doubt, would he choose this map? Probably not, because in instances there, he might not react quick enough. It's probably being a bit unfair to Doubt, but we'll see. I mean, it's still not over for MbL, because I think Hera's not expecting MbL to add skirmishers. And if the skirmishers come out now and he takes care of the archers, you never know. But MbL scouts are still committed over here. Hera's done a great job of keeping his numbers alive. But as I say that, the skirms arrive. Now, what's the problem with going skirm defense when your opponent goes archers and scouts? Well, the scouts wreck the skirms. Ooh. Whoa! 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 MbL! What are you doing? MbL! He just... I think he clicked his units back? And he ran right underneath Hera's town center. He must be desperate. Oh, man. I was not expecting that. But actually, he takes a decent fight here. The guy has bloodlines. The guy has attack. And MbL is right back in this game, I think. Or is he? I love this map so much. This is so good. Hera does have the TC, but he'll lose some villagers. I think he lost one. It's 40 villagers for Hera, 36 for MbL. Look, even the players can't keep up with it all. This is crazy. This is crazy. And MbL's still alive. He's still doing really well. It's 57 population for Hera, 55 for MbL, sorry. Again, the difference is that it's Skirm and Scout versus just Skirm Arch. But MbL's Scouts have more upgrades, and MbL's back in the game. He's back in the game. I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead, but the extra Scouts did it. And now those archers die, and now MbL has more military. Wow. Okay, so let's double check the economies now. 700 food for MbL. 400 gold. What happened here? Hera, he's committed to feudal age. He just researched armor and bloodlines on his scouts. He's producing more, and he's adding a second stable. I guess MbL would just go castle. And I think if that's the case, Hera needs to do some damage soon. And now MbL's camping the gold. Yes, so you have 1 gold and 1 stone. Players will know that. They will try and pressure that. We've seen that pressured twice in this game. Players cannot fully wall their base. It's always going to be open. It's always going to provide dynamic games. I don't know. I love it. I love what I'm seeing here. This is great entertainment. MbL just has to be really careful that he does not lose control over the game, because Hera's committing into feudal age. As long as MbL holds still castle age, I think he's okay. Also, I really want MbL to win so we can see another game. Dave says housed again. I know. It's so bad. Now a tower from Hera on that forward gold. Now I think here MbL loses a bit of control, right? His scouts are getting weak. Oh my god, this is going to be such a sick game. Watch this. Watch the amount of pushback Hera will have here. MbL will hit Castle Age in a few moments, but I'm pretty sure that if Hera micros this properly, MbL could get wrecked. But MbL's adding more scouts! It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. Will Hera have enough to deal with Castle Age MbL? I thought that MbL was going to lose that worse than he did or earlier than he did, but he added more scouts, which was the play. Now I guess you just go Knights. Now you just go Knights, meaning Hera has to raid with the scouts, and he has to make archers, he has to make spears, he has to make everything, anything, to survive. The important thing there, as Tars is now saying it in the chat, I guess, was to get the archers out of the equation. The amount of archers that MbL killed there were huge. Because if Hera had like 15 archers still, they could actually trade versus Knights and Feudal. Scouts, not so much. Only thing Hera can do is raid with these, and that's exactly what he's going for. Look at the distraction from Hera! He saw which knight, or which scout the knight was attacking, and he goes out here to where MbL's building a town center, snipes one Vil, could snipe another Vil. Hera's still in this game. And now Hera's on the way to Castle Age. Hera is still in this game, guys. I'm telling you, this map is amazing. Even if it's a Mongol mirror every time, the games on this map are sick. This is so sick. Hera's still in this game despite being so far behind in Castle Age. Because of how aggressive you can play and how all-in you can play. Beautiful. But I think it's got to be archers for Hera now. Scouts probably won't work well. MbL's opportunity to come back is here. You need new wood line if you're Hera, so he's relocating probably to this side. Yep. MbL is 10 villagers behind, but he has 2 TCs to produce Vils out of. This is crazy. But use the mobility, MbL. Just run. Just run. Hera will have to, at the very least, quick wall all the time. And keep his army at his base. So I guess Hera goes... that villager will die. I mean, Hera's... I want to believe. I think he'll go 2 stable camel, and he'll have to upgrade these crossbows. I don't think he'll go cav archer. But I think at least crossbow, for sure. And then camels. 66 population for Hera, 60 for MbL. Hera has a 3 villager lead. However, MbL's protecting all of the farms. Ooh, and I'm surprised to see that, actually. Hera's going for university. And so he wants ballistics for the crossbows. And this is a dangerous position to be in, not before the upgrades, Hera. Oh my goodness, that was such a good engagement for MbL. Such a good engagement. If he can just turn around a little bit. Okay, now back up. Wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I thought he had a full surrounds, but he didn't. But look at the amount that Hera had to do, man. I swear. Quick wall here. Run the crossbows back here. He'll be getting ballistics. He's making camels. I love this map. Totally biased. Because I had my opinion going into this match. But this is sick. I think this is the best game of the day so far. Absolute chaos, yeah. So what does MbL do now? Does he go with skirmishers? Looks like it. Because camel crossbow is pretty dangerous to what he's doing. I just think he needs to choose his fights. He's kind of able to do that. Hera will be very hesitant to run in here because he can't flee as easily because he has slower units. Remember, camels, a great counter to knights. And crossbows and mass, especially on DE, where melee pathing is a bit weird, can be very strong. MbL wanted us around. I don't know if he could do that, but 1 crossbow kill is enough for him. And I think he wants Hera to go in here, so he can loop around. Sick game. Hera still has a 2 villager lead. Hera is not on a second town center yet, so I don't see that lasting. There's a lot of thoughts going through my mind right now. Like, about what settings could make this really competitive in an event, and also just how much these players have had to do in this game. Also, I don't like the fact that MbL, I mean, I get why he's done it. But I don't think it's ideal in a Mongol war when your late game unit comp is ideally Mangadai to go for so many towers. I feel like that's really bad. Oh no, Hera's gonna overchop here. But it's okay, he has the camels here. Might end up being pretty close, but... Oh no, MbL didn't check the gold! Hera didn't have walls there! Can MbL get into the wood line at least? No, he can't! Oh, that would have been huge! 7 villagers on gold! MbL instead is looping the whole way around. You know what? This could be bad for MbL. Because Hera has a lot of the center map control now. And all these camels are coming back to deal with this. Imagine if MbL... Well, imagine if he realizes there's a hole here. Hera overchopped this 2 minutes ago. MbL can run in there. Oh, and Hera quick walls it! What a quick reaction. That was beautiful. I think MbL just chooses to fight this. I think it's probably the best decision for him. And as I say that, he's getting destroyed here. 4 villagers down. MbL still has the Vill lead. And over here, the Knights and Camel... The Knights are actually winning that, but... yeah, I think that will be short-lived. Another TC for Hera, or I guess that's his second, right? And MbL needs... He needs Elite Skirm, he needs more Knights, he needs a lot. Because it's 32 military for Hera and 13. Will be even less in a second for MbL. Does MbL have a lot of stone? He has 300 stone. He's mining it there. Another town center for MbL. So this is just going to be boom and survive, I guess, for him. Looks very much like that. I mean, he does have more villagers, and he was quicker to the town centers. So it's always a possibility, but it's so difficult on a map like Ravines, where you can be pressured in so many different areas. I think this is a good decision for Hera to chase these villagers down and take MbL off the golds. MbL sends these skirms out. No, it's just... It does almost nothing. Hera just has to hold the map control now. MbL will have all resources that he'll want, but he will not have space. It is now time for Hera to suffocate him. And while you have the military control, just expand that eco behind it. Yes, MbL has a few more villagers, but his villagers are getting sniped, and they're also a lot more idle. They're not working as efficiently. That'll be interesting. MbL camping the golds. Hera losing a camel. This is just madness, man. But I don't know how frequently Hera can afford to run past that tower. That tower is weakened to those crossbows. And now MbL's building a castle. If this castle goes up, it will be the first castle in the game. And it will mean that MbL could maybe use that economy to go towards Mangadai. I foresee that castle going up. Also, small raid from MbL over here with those 3 knights we saw a moment ago. These guys are like robots, man. You have to be so fast to be able to play this. Such a sick game. Yeah, that castle will be up. This is winnable for MbL. Think Hera's eco is still better. He's getting handcart now, and Vill number is very deceiving statistic. It's very close, and Hera's been virtually untouched, so his eco is stronger right now. He's also getting all of his eco techs and taking a nice engagement under here. But it's also a bit of a worrying engagement because... Oh my god! He saw his villagers on stone! Oh no, he looked away or something. Oh my god. And MbL will soon have the stone for another castle. Hera hasn't even placed his first one. So 86 to 75, I mean, that's quite a difference now. It's not just 4 or 5. And MbL's making the best unit Mongols can create. Wow. MbL probably wants to castle the left side. It'd be pretty ballsy to castle forward, but it'd be great to secure those resources. Hera's just unlucky not to spot those villagers. MbL will castle there. That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Right next to the stone. Castle for Hera. Oh, but Hera will go imp. Hera will go imp. So he's lost control over the last few moments. But his eco is so much better, he'll be in the Imperial Age, and MbL will not. So this is very similar to what happened with Feudal Age and Castle Age earlier in this game, where Hera had to pressure and delay for 2 to 3 minutes, so he could catch up to MbL's Castle Age. Now MbL needs to do that. He has the castle numbers, he's fast, he'll be faster to Mangudai numbers, but with a later imp, that means that he could lose his castle to Trebs. So MbL needs to use his army to distract Hera, delay Hera, not like that. That won't do it. And then so quite simply for Hera, he needs to stop that from happening, which means either attack yourself or just defend really well. Yeah, elite Mangudai are insanely good against Trebs, but don't know if MbL is going to be in the Imperial Age fast enough to even have Imp Mangudai with Bracer. You know, he won't have Bracer, he won't have Chemistry, so... Yes, Mangudai are very good against Siege. I don't see that working all that well for MbL, and Hera will trade versus Mangudai, so... He was later to Mangudai, but he got 3 kills, that's worth it. MbL has so much food. Sell some of it at the market? Maybe? You gotta get Imp, dude. You've gotta get Imp. I like Hera's position more. I like Hera's position more if he takes out this castle, though. What happens here? MbL has 1 on stone. Do you see that? Hera has 7. So they'll both have 2 castles, but MbL will lose 1. Hera has more stone income behind that. I like Hera's position a whole lot more. At Mangudai, again, 2 low numbers. So you get the castles up, you make the units, and then you lose them to units that Hera doesn't care about anymore. Sorry to any camels watching the stream. I hate to offend people, but or camels in this case, but yeah, camels are not important now. They're not important at all. It's only about Mangudai and Trebs. And that's why Hera chooses to fight underneath the town center, because he'll get some value. And the value's in. That's probably the best engagement he would get throughout the remainder of this game. Even micros down the weeknight. And even gets away from the TC fire just to get a few more hits. And now he's over here. I'm looking at the population. If I were to show you 120 pop versus 98, you would think that the person with 120 pop would have the edge. But MbL, he's not an imp yet, and he won't have an answer to Mangudai. He won't have his own Mangudai. That's the problem. So what does MbL even do against this? Bracer's in. You'll see more upgrades come in for Hera. Light Cav. That's not going to be the best play for Hera. Or for MbL, sorry. And that castle will go down. Then a Mongol war, normally the only way you save yourself in this situation is go for Elite Skirmisher. So MbL is making the archery ranges to do that now. But it's so easy for Hera to dodge that and run away from that. It's a Hail Mary. It means you have less than a 10% chance if you're going Skirmishers in Imperial Age as Mongols in early Imp. The second that Hera sees that, he'll just make Hussar or he'll run away. Sick game, man. Such a sick game. I think, to me, it was just how well Hera played with the camel and crossbow that changed the game. MbL looked better off at the start of Castle Age, but Hera, when he ended up catching up, did a great job holding map, and MbL's economy was worse because of it. 117 population for both. Hera will soon have elite manga diet. In fact, that upgrade is already on the way. MbL will just have skirmishers and hussars, so he's not making really any gold units at all. This is a cute little spot, though, to have a treb. And what's funny about this is... Oh, wait, never mind. I thought Hera wouldn't know the castle was there. T90, why not place castle to defend when you're getting pressured so much? In what situation, Erickson? Or Ericonis? Like... I'm struggling to see where MbL could have placed a castle differently. It was purely because of the economy side of things, I think. And in this case, MbL places a castle, it just gets shredded down, right?
Who said camels are not important?
Yeah, so is Hera going to dive underneath the castle? Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. That treb will go down. What? Might as well finish it off. Oh yeah, and MbL doesn't have murder holes, so he can sit underneath the castle. That's such smart thinking. Yeah, alright. MbL will probably lose that castle now. He still can't deal with this. The only thing that Hera is lacking right now would be Rams and or Hussar. But he doesn't have the eco for the switch yet. It'd be hilarious if MbL researches murder holes. He's getting ballistics right now. It's hilarious because pros rarely get that upgrade, by the way. If you're new out there, you might think that's the most overpowered upgrade in the game. Most important upgrade in the game. But it's not. Yeah, again, another castle in an important area. Hera will just have castles everywhere. Everywhere he needs them. Hussars show up. Mongol Hussars have 118 HP. That's great. But it's not enough to stop Elite Mangadai. And oh no, MbL's Treb goes down as well. It's so expensive. Yeah, alright, so here MbL, this is probably the first half-decent engagement that MbL could take in the game. And Hera's actually out-microing the skirmishers. He just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. Look at that! Look at that! That's sick, man! That's sick! He's lost one unit! One unit! Screw your ballistics, man. Doubt is probably frightened to see that. Like, what? People out micro ballistics now? What? That's sick play from Hera. It's beautiful to watch. But it's Mangadai. The speed of Mangadai, the fire rate of Mangadai, it's like the only unit that right there is conceivable with. MbL at this point probably just doesn't want to get 4-0'd in a show match. You know, so he's really good at holding on in games, and he's trying his best, but I don't know, guys. Not trying to be negative. Hera just played this really well. It was a very close game. Many of the games were close, but Hera's just been slightly better today in every single game. Now, I'm going to see if they want to play all the games. That's obviously up to the players, because we pitched it as a best of 7. But I would really like to see some of the other maps. So if they are going to play more anyway, we could speak to them about that. But yeah, now when MbL is relying on mainly Skirm, he didn't really need it yet, but you would just add Hussar. You've been producing Mangadai, which cost wood and cost gold, and so you haven't been spending food. And so earlier when I said that Hera didn't have the eco to go Hussar, it's because he hadn't banked up enough food yet, and now he will.
T90 unfair to camels. Call your local camel labor board.
Grumpy Camel, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, Turbo Surge. Thanks, guys, for the donos. And GG. That might be a disappointing result for MbL, but that was a sick game. If I could have had 4 games of that, well, no, I wouldn't have done 4 games on the same map. But if I would have had 4 games of that much ridiculousness, I would have signed up for that no problem, man. I love the map. I love the map. We had full feudal aggression. We had amazing fights in Castle Age. We had the Imperial Age battle, which at that point pretty much just came down to who was an imp faster, but incredible. 222 kills for Hera, 139 units lost. A lot of this stemmed from his early Castle Age. Yeah, this is surprising. I guess near the end, MbL, he didn't have access to stone, he didn't have access to gold, but that map control that Hera had was huge for him. More wood, stone, and gold collected. Mongols are solid on most maps, Krun. Here they're a sure pick because of all the deer, but on Arena or Gold Rush they're not bad. It depends on your level, obviously. At the higher levels, I think that they might not be top tier on Arena because of the monk style that higher level players have. But seriously, insane play from Hera today. I spoke to MbL ahead of time, so I think MbL had won maybe 4 or 5 matches out of 7 or 8 against Hera in rated games. But MbL said in the show match he wasn't really that confident because he doesn't feel like he's in good shape. But, man, fantastic showing. I hate to see a 4-0, regardless of the players, but we had some awesome games. So, I'm going to continue to cast, and it'll be in more of a relaxed setting. I think MbL's queuing up to play some rated games, so that's my answer. They probably